Hello there. Hey. So, I'm Jacob. I'm doing a review on Dark Force Custom Sabers. Uh, Dark Force Sabers. Not Custom Sabers, Dark Force Sabers. Oh, Custom Sabers, yeah. Dark Force Sabers on their Reborn hilt. Um, I love the weathering on it. This is his Reborn, the blood sloped weathering, great. It's beautiful, powder coated, everything, attention to detail, beautiful. I love it. It's great. Um, there are a few things that I do like about the hilt, and unfortunately, there are a few other things that I don't like. So we'll start with the good. Take that out. That's my blade plug. The good. I love the ergonomics of it. It's a great one-hander. I can hold it, off. I can hold it traditional. It feels great. Like it has a good grip on it, and I feel like I can just I feel the force within this. Um, so that's what I do like. I love the vent here. So we'll put the blade plug in just so you can see the vent. And there's the vent there. So I love the vent to that. It's great. It's wonderful. The grip I have, it's probably my fault. I got too short of a blade plug, so when I put the retention screw in, it doesn't stay in. So that's on me. It's too short of a blade plug. Diameter is a great diameter for it. Blade fits in great. It's well balanced. Great to spin with. Great sound. The way that it's built, it's very loud. I really like it. So that's externals. Internals, that's where I'm kind of iffy about. So I got this installed with the OLED screen. It's cool. It's really, really cool. So we'll start with the obvious. You take off you take apart the hilt, right? You pull it off, and the battery just kind of flops out. That's one thing that I'm kind of that kind of was like, oh, okay. Well, after a while, it kind of was like, it's annoying. Because then when I would try to put it in, this wire gets in the way, and if there was just a way to have it securely in without anything really popping out, I would love that. That would be great. The ergonomics, I know it's a tight fit and be a little difficult to do, but I feel like it'd just be for the best to have the battery secure so it doesn't fly around and I don't break any solder leads on there. Another thing that's a really cool feature that I really like about Crystal Focus is the OLED screen. So that tells me my battery, tells me the font, the software I'm on, and all that, right? The only downside to it is it's in the chassis. See, this is what I would change with the Saber. Instead of having the chassis, well, the OLED screen there, I would put the OLED screen, if it's ever possible, this is where I'm having issues with, is that it's such a tight fit that if you move the OLED screen right here instead, so then it's inside the hilt here, just up here, I think that'd be better, because then you can see the OLED screen, you don't have to worry about taking it apart, and you can see it. And then you have these cool little divots here, but it's not see-through. So if you had a shine-through divot here like you do on the vent here, I think that'd be pretty cool, because then you'd still get your shine-through here, right? And then you have your OLED here showing off that amazing technology. And of course, with that, I don't know how that would wire. I'm not great at wiring. That would have to probably move up the NeoPixel pad. That won't give you the blade depth. That's really nice because you have like 2 inches of blade depth, which is pretty cool. You can move it up a bit, and I would say you could probably move this down a bit, or even have it on the other side, just a little lower, just so that the OLED screen can be accessed and seen. At least that's how I see it. Besides the internals and the chassis, it's a great saber all around. My first NeoPixel crystal focus blade, great sound, great saber. Yeah, I think just if you touch it up a bit more, it would be a 10 out of 10. I did have some issues with the solder leads for the OLED got damaged and it broke off. But you were very nice with just telling me, oh, just send it my way and I could repair it. And you did, which was great, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I would say. That's the one things that are kind of iffy for me is if the wiring can be cleaned up a bit up here, you know, to have the wiring come all under here. And I don't know how well that would be. You might need to have a longer chassis because I know that your chassis goes up to this point here, right? If you had the chassis, because if this was all the way hollowed through, right, you could have the chassis come up here, more higher up, move up the NeoPixel pad a bit, and then have this shine through, have an inch of depth in here, have this shine through. You could have, see, now the battery just flops out. You could have the shine through blade on these vents here, have the OLED screen right here. Your retention screw can stay the same, just move this down a bit. Have your pixel pad here and retention screw for the blade, and you have this whole empty part to fill it in. So you can have, and then use this, you know, for, because I know that holds that, right? There'd be another hole, of course, but you can have, you know, another hole like this for the chassis, and that can give you all this room so that it, you know, you can clean the wires up a bit so it's not as tight as a fit down here. It's a great blade, don't get me wrong, I really like it. I find myself holding it every day I come home from work and turning it on and make sure that it's always charged. But those are the only downsides that I really have, is that I got this OLED display and I can't really display it with the state of how the chassis is right now. If the chassis was a little better, you know, the wires didn't stick out like that as much, or if the chassis just was a little cleaner and the OLED, you know, again, OLED's cool, I really like it. I just wish the OLED was seeable, if that makes sense. Kinda, if you could see the OLED a little better. Like if you had it shine through, if you have like a vent on the, or you can leave it as is, right? And you can have like a little, see, it's so just tight to get on. And like I'm worried that I'm gonna break the USB cord or cut through a wire trying to get this on. So if all the wires was cleaned up, it'd be a little easier to get that on, to access the USB. Oh yeah, that's another thing. The OLED gets in the way of the USB access for rice and everything, which, you know, again, I would recommend, if it's ever possible, to integrate the OLED somewhere on this part, on this section here. You know, you can even have the OLED right here, right by the activations. Maybe even not there, maybe a little higher up here. Or yeah, no, down here, it'd be pretty cool. And then you can move up the activations up here instead. Because I've been finding myself when I do spin it or dual, or, you know, hold it, spin it around, I find myself hitting the buttons and it turns off. So putting it up, just moving everything up a little higher, cleaning up the chassis. That's how I would recommend. Overall, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 7.5, 8 out of 10. That's just my biggest gripes for it. I love your product, man. I want to see more from you. You just keep the ergonomics the same. That's the one thing that I really, really like, is the ergonomics of it. It's easy to hold. It's sanded down really well. There's no, I can't find a single like reason to cut my hand while spinning while holding this, so it's great. I love that. Keep that. But it's the internals that I think can be updated more, an updated chassis, you know, something so that it can give you more room to play with the wiring, you know, find, I know that people are coming out with modular chassis now where a lot of them are snap connectors, you know, or even connector pads where it just lays on it and it's magnetic and it works like that, you know. That would be cool. It'd be more expensive to manufacture and everything, but that's a way you could, you know, advertise like, hey, I have this compared to this guy, you know, this guy. And for this model, if you want to put the OLED, I would either put the OLED here because you have like the perfect place for it here, and then these little divots here, right? I would say make it shine through here instead of here. This is great, but I would want to shine through here and hook the OLED here so the OLED can be on display. So I can hold it up and show my friends instead of me, and actually like do the stuff the OLED can do instead of me taking it off, holding the battery in place, trying to, you know, show them, oh, look at this OLED. Why are you holding it so weird? Oh, the battery is going to fall out if I don't hold it like this. Other than that, the main concern is just the chassis. That's my biggest issue. But other than that, man, it's a great saber. I really like it. I want to see more from you, you know. So that's my recommendations. New hilts and everything. I think if you make a Mark II of this, it'd be cool to see, you know, the OLED move. It'd be really cool to have the shine through all around up here. Have like a second one like of this, or yeah, no, this is fine. You can leave that too. Can't decide to look at the video. Sorry. Anywho, you have a good night, man, and may the force be with you.